Over 1 year ago I got my first ever lightsabers and I made a video about that whole experience, and that is still the most viewed video on this channel. So now when it has been over 1 year, I thought it would be a good idea to do an updated version of that and actually give more of a proper review. So first of all, I'm going to show you what sabers I have. First we have the Neophyte, and this one is copper and the switchplate is a black and gold wayfinder. And this one also has light weathering. And the second one is the Scion, or Sion, I still don't know how to say that. And this one is pristine, it does not have any weathering. And the inner hilt is brass, and the outer hilt is silver. And the pommel and the vent are gold, and the retention screw is silver. And then the switchplate is gold white ion, and it does not have a crystal chamber, because with the Scion you can get that. And then when it comes to price, the Neophyte was $279 and the Scion was $369, and that includes a blade. And also important to note, these are in-hilt LEDs, so not NeoPixel. If you go NeoPixel it's going to be a lot more expensive. And then I also got 2 heavy dueling blades, which is an additional $50, and the shipping from Canada to Finland was about $85, and then also had to pay taxes. And on Electrum's website it says that, or at least it said that it would take 6 to 8 weeks plus 1 week if you have weathering, and if I remember correctly it took just a bit over 2 months for them to arrive, so a bit over 8 weeks. And since they're custom made and everything, the wait time isn't too bad, at least compared to some other companies. And then we come to the appearance of the sabers. One of the things I love about Electrum Sabercrafts is the customization. Depending on what saber you get, there is a fair amount of customization available. You can choose what colors you get on the hilt. Also depending on if you have any weathering and how much, it will also change the look. A lot of other saber companies don't let you choose the color, or it might just be like, do you want a silver hilt or a black hilt? But here you have a lot more options. So you can really make it feel like your own thing, and that is really cool. I like that. And obviously I can only talk about the hilts that I have, but both of them feel very good to hold, even though the Scion has some of these details and things which makes it sometimes a bit strange to hold. So I would say the Neophyte is definitely better for spinning and dueling and all that, but I way prefer the way the Scion looks, and it's not sharp, there's no sharp edges or anything, but it can take some getting used to, I guess. So that's just something to keep in mind when you choose what model you are going to get. And then we come to the blades. As I already said, my sabers are in-hilt LEDs, and I have 2 different blades for them. I have the trans white blades, which are white and thinner, and then I have the heavy dueling blades, which are this see-through sort of material, and they are a lot thicker. And you can also get something that's kind of a combination of these two, so thinner but this see-through material. And one of the reasons why I went with this company is because I read in multiple places that the in-hilt LEDs are very bright. And again, I don't have anything to compare them with, but from my experience these are definitely very bright. If you're using the trans white blade, with the heavy dueling blade you can definitely see that it's a lot brighter closer to the hilt, and it fades out as you get to the top of the blade, but it is also a very thick blade, so that's to be expected from an in-hilt LED. And the trans white blade is, yes, very bright, but it also does make the color a bit less saturated, but I actually feel like I prefer that look compared to the very saturated colored look. But in the end it is really not a big difference at all, and I would really recommend the trans white blades. I really like the look of them, and yeah, they're just very bright. So if you want your lightsaber to be bright, then I would recommend a trans white blade. But overall I am very happy with the brightness of the blades and also the durability of the blades. I have had 0 issues with anything when it comes to the blades, even though I have been using these a fair amount still. So far they're not showing any signs of usage, I guess. So then we have the electronics, and I don't really know how they work or what they look like, and I honestly don't really care. So you're not listening to an expert here, but I can more just talk about the issues that I've had. But first, I can say that I have used these in pretty cold temperatures. I would say between -15 and -20 degrees Celsius, and they have worked perfectly fine. Even though it has sometimes been a bit difficult to turn the blades on and off, but I think that has more to do with the fact that your fingers are so cold. But then, the problems. I haven't had really any problems with this Kion, but there has been some strange things happening with the Neophyte, so that leads me to believe that this is just something that maybe didn't go quite right with this specific saber. And I haven't contacted Electrum about any of these things because they are so minor that it really doesn't matter. But I'm sure that if you would have similar problems, you could contact them and they would be able to help you out. But basically, sometimes when I go and try to turn the blade on, it turns on, there's the sound and everything, but the blade just doesn't light up, so the LED is just not turned on. And this has happened a couple of times, but what I've done to fix it is to just put it back into sleep mode and then put it on again, and then it has worked. And then something that actually happened today, which hasn't happened before, is that it was in sleep mode. So if you're not using the saber, you should put it in sleep mode. And if it's in sleep mode, you can't turn it on because it is like completely turned off. Or at least it should be. But what happened today was that it was in sleep mode, but I was still able to turn the blade on for some reason. But then I just turned it on and off again, and then it was fine. But yeah, some a bit strange things happening sometimes with that specific saber. So then when it comes to the switch plate, it has 3 buttons: bottom, middle and top. So to turn it on, you press this button, and to turn it off, you press this button. And this is something I mentioned already in the first video, but that doesn't really work. Because let's say you turn it on and then you start using it and you hold your saber like this, which means that you will be pressing these buttons by accident. So what kept happening was that when I was holding the saber, I just kept turning it on and off on accident all the time, and that was very frustrating, and you don't want that to happen. But what you can do, and what I have done with both of these sabers, is you change it so that to turn it on, you first press the bottom and then the middle, and to turn it off, you first press the top and then middle. You can also change how long you have to press each button. And after I've changed that setting, I have not had any problems with the saber turning on and off when I haven't wanted it to. And then when it comes to the sound and the soundboard and things like that, again, I'm not an expert on this topic, but I would say the sound is pretty good. It does also have like clashing effects and things like that, but those have been a bit difficult. They haven't always really worked. And you can change the sensitivity of the clash and things like that with the app, but I just haven't bothered. And that takes us to the next topic, which is the app. So in the first video I said that the app was complete garbage, pretty much. I didn't say exactly like that, but I just said it was bad and it didn't work, which was true at the time. And then I did make another video where I also talked about the sabers and the app after there was a firmware update and a completely new app. And as I said in that video, now the app works perfectly fine. It stays connected to the sabers and the settings actually do what they're supposed to, and yeah, it works perfectly fine now. But to be completely honest, I have not really used the app too much, just because you can pretty much do everything you want from the hilt itself. You don't need to open the app to change the color or the sound or anything. Really the only things I've done with the app is to change how you turn the saber on and off, and that's pretty much it. Because it is definitely really useful to be able to do everything just using the switch plate. Basically, you can access the settings and everything by holding the middle button while the saber is horizontal like this. You can change the volume, you can change the sound fonts, and then if you have any profiles, then you can change the color of the blade. So basically you can do everything you would really need to do just using the switch plate. So yeah, I really haven't used the app all that much, but it is still a pretty neat thing to have, and definitely if you want to, you can do a lot of different things with the app. Customize the sound and color and everything, and yeah, it's pretty cool. If you want to do that, then you have the option to. So then, when it comes to the overall usability of this saber and my final thoughts, first of all, the battery and the battery life. I would say a fully charged battery will last for about 1.5 hours, and it takes closer to 3 hours to charge the sabers. I haven't timed that, but I think it's something like that. And I am still, after 1 year, very happy that I picked this company and I picked these specific sabers. Even though they are in-hilt LEDs, they still have some features like being able to change the color of the blade and things like that you normally wouldn't get with in-hilt LED sabers. And I haven't said it in this video, but basically the reason why I went with in-hilt LEDs instead of NeoPixels is because first of all it's a lot cheaper, but also because you can duel with them without breaking them, because NeoPixels you will break if you duel too hard with them, and obviously I need to be able to fight with my lightsabers, so yes. But I will eventually at some point get a NeoPixel, probably not from Electrum, and not because anything is wrong with the company, but just because there is a bunch of lightsaber companies and I would like to try something else too. And if you have any suggestions of lightsaber companies that offer good NeoPixels, then let me know. But yes, I am a proud owner of Electrum Sabercrafts sabers. I have been using them a fair amount, having a lot of fun definitely, even though I prefer blasters over lightsabers, but still. But yes, if you have watched this video, then I assume that you kind of maybe like lightsabers, and in that case, perfect, because here is a playlist of videos that have to do with lightsabers. There's everything from dueling to learning how to do lightsaber spinning and tutorials on how to get really good pictures of your lightsabers. So there you go, and I will see you again at some other point.